How's it going? This is Kolrolf, and welcome to a new RimWorld series, Force in Exile. It's going to be a Star Wars playthrough. Been wanting to do this for a long time now, so let's get to it. We're going to start a new colony. I created a scenario, Force in Exile, for it, so set immediately at the execution of Clone Protocol 66. The ship you're traveling on is damaged during the ensuing fight between two Jedi and the clone troopers on board. Those that were able to make it to an escape pod before the ship broke up try to survive on an uncontrolled outer rim world that they land on. So I changed up the... it's basically crash landed with a little bit more Star Wars flavor to it. We'll get into the mods involved and everything in a little bit, but let's just get things set up first. We'll be playing with Randy on Blood and Dust, reload anytime mode because mods sometimes break and it's always good to have a save. Okay, so I think we're going to increase the overall coverage to 100% and we're going to randomize the seed, 1, 2, 3, pistol, alright. And overall temperature, I think we'll just increase it by 1 notch, just, I don't know, something to do. Faction control. So if you want to set it up the same way as I'm going to have here, let's see, what were we going to do? We were going to switch this down to 1. This only affects the normal vanilla factions, and we're going to get rid of everything except for one rough tribe faction. Mainly because, even the pirate band, mainly because I found there's a lot of Star Wars race mods. I should probably go through the mods. Should probably do that now, but basically, a bunch of the races, I find, even though they say they'll get mixed in, and we've got a mod that tries to mix it into the normal vanilla factions, it doesn't seem to do it. They seem to be pretty human. So, but anyways, we'll, so we got the faction blender, pirate, civil, ghost faction is part of, Star Wars The Force. Let's just go through the mods now. So, as I just mentioned, so we're using Star Wars The Force, lightsabers, and factions, originally by Jekrel, and continued by Malai, something like that. Anyways, awesome. Thank you so much for bringing these up to RimWorld 1.2. We're also using a bunch of mods from the Outer Rim series, including Clone Wars, Mon Cala, and Mandalore. And we're using a couple of JDS Star Wars mods, including Phase 1 clone armor and Blast Tech Industries, and then a bunch of Star Wars race mods, including Zabrak Race, Star Wars Races, which adds Wookiees, Rhodians, Twi'lek, Trogruta, I always have trouble with that one, and Ewoks, and Gan species, Trandosha, Hutts, and Star Wars animals, just to really get the flavor right. So that's kind of the main set of Star Wars mods. There's also a few other minor Star Wars mods, just for additional doors and floors and wind and lights and stuff like that, just to kind of help with the flavor. And a few other mods to mention specifically. One would be Flora Reskin, which will make all the plants and general environment look unique. It's basically just a reskin of the vanilla textures, just all the plants and whatnot, not the animals. But that should... that'll help it, I think that'll help things just look a little bit differently than normal vanilla. We're also using SRTS Expanded, so we can make small ships to get around the planet. And I've also added Vanilla Social Interactions Expanded, which is just released the other day, and actually a last-minute addition to the mod pack, but it should help create a more dynamic story and interaction between the colonists. We don't have any other of the Vanilla Expanded mods in this mod pack, but I'll probably get into that later, my reasonings for that. Nothing against the mods, they're great, just didn't quite fit with what I was trying to do here. But this one, just when it came out, just when I was putting this together, I saw it, I'm like, you know what, that'll actually be perfect, let's throw that one in. So anyway, so we've got a bunch of factions, so I'm just kind of rejigging things a little bit, like I said. And we're actually going to get rid of Empire and the Rebel faction, mainly because of the timeline. This is supposed to, like I said, just happen right when Order 66 landed. And so we don't really have Rebels and quite the Galactic Empire quite like that yet. And the other thing is, this is supposed to be it's not going to be controlled by the Republic or the Separatists. It's just a completely backwater outer rim world with a bunch of other, smattering of other factions involved. So we're going to have a Zabrak faction. Going to get rid of the O21 factions. Just doesn't quite fit with what we're doing, but we will have Hutts, Trandoshans, and Gand. And like Zabrak and a mix of everybody else. There we go. Okay, let's get this started. Oh yeah, and royalty. Disabled royalty. I love royalty, but I didn't really want to mix my space wizards with the psionics. So yeah, it's turned off, but yeah, nothing against royalty. Okay, so here is our world. Wow, there's a lot of these guys on this side of the planet, okay? Tribes, people... Okay, big empty area, kind of by the, I think those are the, bounty hunters? Not quite sure. Okay. Well, we're gonna make it a large map size, because I like those, and we're just gonna click this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, tropical rainforest, small hills, slate, marble, granite. Year-round growing. Wow, we really lucked out. Okay. And we're not too close to anybody. We'll take a look. We'll land here. We may end up traveling a little bit. If we don't quite like this square, we'd kind of do it within the first day or two. But, yeah. Let's get ourselves started. Okay, so pick 3 of 10. I actually also added prepare carefully because my one goal was I wanted to start with a Wookiee who is force sensitive, and oh my gosh, I rolled random characters for about an hour before it kind of got to one. I'm like, okay, this is taking way too long. Force in Exile characters. There we go. This is who we came up with. All I basically did was add force sensitive, as well as I rolled % chance for Horgan and Wenquing to be force sensitive, and Horgan, he passed his check, so he became force sensitive, and Wenquing did not. But there we go. So main characters could be Tarsay, and she is a Wookiee, obviously, force sensitive, transhumanist, nudist. Got a cut on her left arm. Really good at shooting animals and medical, but that's about it. She actually was a veterinarian recently. Horgan here, he's abrasive, pretty, but force sensitive, Mon Cala. He doesn't have much combat abilities. Actually, he's still rather young, only 18 years old. But he's got a passion for construction, plants, artistic, animals, and a little bit of medical. And Wenquing here is ugly, unfortunately. He's got a chemical interest, and he's gourmand. A little bit older than Horgan. He's 21 years of age. He's got a passion for melee, cooking, animals, medical, and intellectual. So that's what we're starting with. Equipment, just kind of what I'd set up with in the scenario. So they start with Imperial credits, no silver, because that wasn't what they were traveling with. So we may have to figure that out starting off pretty early. Because I don't know if anyone's going to be able to trade Imperial credits with how we've set up the factions, but oh well. We got packaged survival meals, medicine components, a couple blaster pistols, a knife, and some steel. So let's get these guys started, and we'll probably end it there. Yep, confirm. Alright, so here we are. So we'll take a look in the first episode, but for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.